Cumulative effect.
Accumulative
and
effect.
where we are right now is as a result of...
It's a result of this kind of reckless management, which we would not do if we were running our own businesses. That's one thing you should remember.
Yeah. Now we're looking at the debt exchange program, creating a 22.7 billion fiscal space for GHS.
Yeah.
So this is, in essence, the space we want to create with all the debt exchange, the DD.
So there's this budget of 34 billion. That's the actual domestic interest provision plus the energy sector levies transfers. That's about 34 billion. You have an external debt of 21 billion. That's not yet been negotiated. But if you actually look then into this, the portion that is eligible right now for this conversation is 23 billion of interest. If they do this arrangement and for 2023 they are paying nothing, it means they are going to save 23 billion. Then they'll pay 662 for the cash tender. You know, there's a cash tender. They say if you accept, they'll give them 2% of your money now. So if you
but even that is for those whose bonds were maturing.
Only those whose bonds are maturing in 2023. All right. So when you take that bit out, eventually come up with 22.78 billion. So almost 22.8 billion CD fiscal space. Now think about it. Government has gone for an expenditure approval. So when they do this, you have created more space. Either they deploy this to increase capital expenditure from the current, 27 billion, add 22 billion to it, then you are practically hitting 50 billion. What is government planning to do? They are setting themselves out for the politics. To go on a massive spend on projects and all kinds of things. Because they've just created room. They have approval for it if they want to. Nobody has come to announce that I'm going to save it and actually debit it against my budget deficit. Because the budget deficit itself has been approved as part of the budget itself. And that provision is structured in there. Practically, the budget deficit is practically what you are going to get from IMF. That's what we are doing right now. So this is a spending spree. The government has 2 last years, and he wants to blow money and be the big boy in town.
You're suggesting
it's okay to do it, but don't do it at the expense of people's savings and their own livelihoods.
So your and my bonds, and the woman's bond who says he needs it to take care of it. That is the space that will create.
They are creating more space to really go and enjoy, and then come and tell it. But you think hard about it. This is politics. Let's all be honest about it. Whichever party is in power. It is from all these projects that people have their campaign funding. Think about it. It's from all these projects that people try and then satisfy their party apparatchiks, their financiers, and also be able to also extract some funds and retain some for themselves. It's not a lie. So the more you can actually spend here, the more money that politicians really make. This is the fact.
And the reality is,
when your political friends, which may include me, can make.
When in reality, when you're in crisis, one of the first things you can cut is capital expenditure.
You may have to cut it across because some level of capital expenditure is
necessary,
to sustain your economy.
Because last year we spent 16 billion. This year we're talking about 27 billion.
So I'm saying that
minimum you can maintain it.
So what if we maintained it? But rather we are trying to create. We have already gone for 27 billion, which is the blue one.
Yeah.
But when we add this same savings, that means that we have room to chop more.
For more.
It has never happened in the history of Ghana. Government's expenditure can stimulate growth, but not sustainably. It's the private sector's investments that sustain growth. It's you building this, all right, and employing people and building a business and keeping people in a very professional, sustainable way that sustains business and productivity in the country. But government can say, I'm going to clear this road so that you can come and build here. And once I clear this road, a lot of people start building shops, building factories around here. Then you have sustainable growth. So they trigger. They don't run an economy, they trigger. And that's what governments are supposed to do in a typical property-owning democracy. That's why I've been saying that the NPP, as I see it today, I can't recognize it. The next is...
So they ask the fundamental question, are individual bond funds required? Individual bondholders funds required?
Now, this bond, I repeat again, it includes the collective investment schemes.
Yeah.
When you put all of us together, it is 11%. Government
of the total?
Government says it needs 80% of the entire eligible bonds. So if you need 80% of the eligible bonds, that's what you see in the green pie. The full pie is the total eligible bonds. The one that government needs is the green part of the pie, the green fraction of it. The piece of it is this one. This small piece are here. It's what individual bondholders are. So you can take them out and you still have your green portion. So the question, why are you chasing these 6.5 million livelihoods? What have they done to you? They've earned their money. They've entrusted you with their taxes since 2017. If you've mismanaged it, you've failed to optimize it, and you've come to them and you've asked them to pay more, they've also accepted that I would pay more. Pay VAT. We say we'll pay more. Have you seen anybody go on a luta over the VAT increment?
No.
Tell me who has gone on a luta on e-levy. We haven't seen Kumi Prekun from individual bondholders or anybody, nothing like that. We have accepted it. We are sensitive people to the economy. But now if we've done all that, in fact, now you want to put your hand inside our pocket. I mean, why? I mean, it's just off.
And the fact show you can take
the biggest story in this graph is the fact that government does not need individual bondholders. It doesn't need to distort the lives of 6.5 million people to be able to achieve its goals. And this is not coming from me. It is coming from the Ministry of Finance's own info memo. You all must have read the communique, the press release rather. It says 80%.
80%.
89. So please, Exodus 5:1. Let my people go. Braken, yeah,